That's what I knew. Metcalf, you look like you could break dance.
Sport is defined by the
I
Oxford
could
Dictionary.
break a bone while dancing.
Yeah, you could too.
Any activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. Dictionary.com is an athletic activity requiring skill or physical prowess and often of a competitive nature. So,
Hate to tell you, but by those definitions, marching band's a sport.
So
Okay.
is masturbation.
by the first two
Fan is a
definitions,
family show.
non-competitive fishing wouldn't qualify as a sport, but Merriam-Webster, which defines it as a source of diversion
aren't these
or
like-
physical activity engaged in for pleasure or exercise.
Didn't they remove women's softball?
They removed wrestling, one of the
But didn't
original
they
ones.
remove women's softball? Because they were upset the USA dominated it too much. Is that correct?
So they went on to poll some of their readers. What is a sport? So let's play. Sport or not a sport?
Oh boy.
You tell me.
Okay.
I'll go for all right. Okay, gymnastics.
Sport.
Yes.
Okay. Figure skating.
Yes.
Archery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Auto racing.
Yes.
No
comment.
MMA.
Yes.
Karate.
Yes.
Bowling.
Yes.
Nope.
It's competitive. You keep a score. Horse racing.
Rolling a dumb ball.
Horse racing.
No.
For the horse, yes.
Yeah, to the horse.
Weightlifting.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a sport. I mean, it's
Okay.
Depends on if you're juicing.
Dodgeball.
Oh, definitely. That should be an Olympic sport. Come on,
a...
Bob.
Yeah, I guess.
Sailing.
Yeah, if you're rich.
I put it in the same category as auto racing.
Okay. Yeah.
Cheerleading.
No.
Depends which state you're in.
68% of the readers said that cheerleading was a sport.
It's a sanctioned sport in Illinois.
Rock climbing.
Oof. Dangerous. I don't know if it's a sport.
See, how do you grade rock climbing? You make the top of the cliff or not? I mean, it's like
Like time.
Speed, score, accuracy.
You and Jay are racing each other. You already have a 3-foot head start.
If you're in the Merriam-Webster dictionary,
Points for difficulty.
it's a physical activity engaged in for pleasure or exercise. If you're in the Merriam-Webster dictionary version of it, of the definition.
then yes.
But the other ones, it doesn't. The Oxford, it's a activity involved physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. In the dictionary.com, an athletic activity requiring skill or physical prowess and often of a competitive nature. All right. Croquet.
Okay. No.
Why not? Falls in the same category and same definition of all this other crap.
Pool.
I think it's a sport. I'm good at it.
Darts.
Same thing. No. But I'm good
Archery is darts, isn't?
at it. I know.
Okay, good.
See?
Hey, take some strength to the bowstring.
Fishing.
I mean, aren't you just like you have the best worm? How's that? I mean,
Same thing with masturbation, T-Roy.
Bullfighting.
definitely not a sport. That's BS.
You don't think bullfighting is a sport?
No, you're killing an animal.
Killing
You're
them?
not killing it. It's like
oh,
They used
they're
to.
stabbing the hell
They
out
used
of it.
to. They used to.
they're not
Oh,
anymore.
you're trying to
They
dodge the
used
bull.
to. They used to.
They used to stab the hell out of it. I'm going after the original way. No, it's not a sport.
Cornhole. Is it cornhole or bags?
I like to call it
Bags.
bags. Cornhole sounds
No.
very dirty.
It
Bags
does.
is not
According to the
bags is not a
ACA, or
sport.
American Cornhole Association, it is a sport, Jay.
Isn't there like a? Is it a sport? Is bags
say
a sport?
As bowling is, so is bags.
It's a bar game.
So is
darts.
pool.
So is pool, and I didn't say pool was a sport. You did.
Okay.
You never fought a bull in a bar.
In Spain once.
Hunting.
That's the same
No.
thing as the bullfighting. You're just killing an animal.
Chess.
No.
Yes.
Esports. Esports.
No.
Chess is a game of the mind.
It's not a sport. Is it physical activity?
No physical.
You work up a
move an arm.
I work up a mental sweat.
By according to dictionary.com, though, it would be a skill, an activity requiring a skill. Esports.
I'm very good at chess, too.
If chess is not, esports is not. If chess is, esports is, right?
Gotta move your thumbs.
Breakdancing.
Bobby's a breakdancer.
Breakdancing.
Why does it have to be broken out into breakdancing? Why isn't it just under like regular dance competitions? 'Cause
Competitive.
If that's a
You're
sport, then this is a sport.
Look at Jay doing his running man.
So Jay breakdances. Get him his cardboard, T-Roy.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Competitive eating.
No.
Oh God, no.
See?
It's not a sport.
I don't know, dude.
Poker.
No.
It's a skill. It's competitive.
Tell me the physical activity involved in poker.
It says by dictionary.com, it says an athletic activity requiring skill or physical prowess, and often of a competitive nature.
Tell me the skill in poker besides bluffing.
Count cards.
Yeah.
Gets hot in those casinos.
Yeah.
It's a good point, but then again, I've never
What if
taken the
you're
time to
sitting
do
right
that.
behind?
You're
what if-
playing. I mean, you could have a great hand and still
You
lose.
got to breathe all that smoke, Bobby, from Grandma pulling on her dime slots.
Yeah.
Penny slots.
Unless you have a royal flush, you could always lose. There's no skill involved in poker.
Oh, there is skill.
Well,
I'm
the
not good
most
at it.
gymnastics
There's
was at
skill.
93%. Of the readers that took the poll, they said that poker was the lowest at 15%.
I guess the skill would be in knowing the odds of what your hand
Yep.
and what can beat your hand.
Odds, and there's an aspect in bluffing and when to bluff, when not to.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever's right. That should have been called sport or competition. I think there's a difference.
Yeah,
There's
I
things
guess.
that are competitions that doesn't necessarily make them a sport.
That makes more sense.
Here's what I think, and I may be overlooking and I may be generalizing, but if you are relying on something other than yourself, I'm not sure it's a sport.
See, but then you can go so many different directions, like with other team sports.
But you're relying on your athletic ability. Like auto racing. Okay, I'm not saying I know it takes a ton of skill to be auto racing and everything, but it comes down to your car, right?
A lot of it's your car, but
A lot
I
of
mean,
it's your
a lot
car.
of it's you too, like knowing how to handle your car.
But it's not like I don't
Dale
think,
Earnhardt Jr. and I could have had the exact same car, like
No, I understand.
to a T. He's gonna win that race. I'm
not
telling
saying
you that
there's
right
not
now.
skill involved.
I'm gonna go fast, but he's gonna win that race.
And I know there is athletic skill involved because you
Right.
got to be in good shape to stay in a car for 5 hours.
Hmm.
But I don't know.
All right. Well, Bobby, where are you
I
at
don't
this
want to take
weekend?
up all the NASCAR people. So
Oh,
Where-
they're
yeah.
mad, dude.
Too late.
They're
Yeah,
mad.
They
there
already
you
took
go.
away their Bush Light.
Yeah.
They took our germs.
Where are you at this weekend?
I'm
Bobby?
going up to Preston to watch some 8-man football.
8-man football.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
Undefeated Eastern Valley's taking on Springville.
I saw a nice,
Ooh,
nice article.
Family
about
members from
quarterback
Springville.
Eastern Valley. And
We'll
then,
watch about 9,000 points being put up.
yeah. And how's the St. Ambrose football?
Lost a tough one
Mhm.
last week. We're leading just going in just before halftime against Siena Heights, and then gave a pick six with 4 seconds left, and we're losing, and then never could get anything going. Their defense is solid. I think that defense could compete with most teams in their conference. Unfortunately, the offense and special teams are just behind right now. So
And then when does the storm season pick up for you?
training camp opens October 9th.
Oh, that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
All right, Jay Bird, here you go.
Yes.
Competitions are more than one person or team competing at any activity. Sports are an athletic competition involving skills and physical exertion. That's why I say the difference between competition and
Okay,
sport
but-
is more versus like sport or not a sport.
By that definition, marching band is a sport because it takes skill to play an instrument and physical exertion because you're marching around.
Marching's tough, dude.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
impressed
true,
by
it
it
is.
when they do that stuff. I'm
It takes,
impressed.
it takes the skill of playing an instrument and then your physical exertion of marching.
One of the
It's
one
what
of-
sport it
Marine,
is.
Marine Corps boot camp. One of the 3 things you got to do before you can graduate. You qualify with your rifle. Your platoon has to pass the marching
Play the flute?
part of it. No,
Oh.
play flute.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying marching
And,
band
and,
is a
then
sport. I'm just
and your PFT. You got to pass all your physical fitness tests.
Okay.
Well, Bobby, thanks for coming in on such a hot topic Wednesday.
It is Hot Topic Wednesday.
yeah. Please don't go scrubbing through my social media accounts.
I'm,
guys.
yeah,
That
yes,
cap.
I tell you what, I'm
Well,
not
what
going to
was
do
your
that. I don't know what.
MySpace?
We better watch out. Them NASCAR fans are coming after you, dog.
Yeah.
You're
Did you
done.
have a MySpace?
No.
You didn't,
The only 2 social media I've ever had was Facebook and Twitter.
and you don't have Facebook anymore.
I don't use Facebook.
You don't
anymore.
use Facebook, okay?
The only time I was really active on Facebook was in college, so you could probably find some stupid stuff
Yeah.
on my Facebook account from college.
It's like
Where'd you go to college?
Lawrence University.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
It's just going to be pictures of you with Bush Light cans, and now everyone's going to get all over you.
I'm
Look
sure
at
there are.
Bobby. He drinks Bush Light.
Probably Natty.
I'm sure there
Probably
were.
Milwaukee's best, too. The Beast.
Hams.
Hams. Oh, yeah.
All right, you can follow Bobby Metcalf 88 on Twitter. Don't go through his stuff though. We're gonna
Or
be mad.
don't judge me if you do. I
Don't
mean,
ju- yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
We have to take a quick break, and
All right.
we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hey, everybody, there's still time to vote out there. Go to localslevis.com and make sure you click on Don't Hassle Us or Local when you're voting for your favorite Quad City DJ, Surge. Or vote for all of our show sponsors
Go
and
vote for
guests.
us.
Yeah.
Vote for Bobby. Vote
Yeah,
for the
vote
Quad City Times.
The Times. Vote for Cakert, who's coming on shortly.
I don't even know if he's in a category. Go vote for him though.
Yeah.
Make a put him in a category.
Oldest guy in America.
He's
Tom
that's
Cakert.
not
Oh.
true. Okay, now he's probably turning the car around. Not going to come in here now.
No, he's coming in just to get me.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
Before we go, Bobby, Chicago Cubs.
Ugh.
Man, it's going to be a nice offseason not having to worry about that stupid, underperforming garbage team.
All right, Bobby. Thank you so much.
So
we'll
is Bobby
see.
right
We'll see you
now.
soon. Take care.
This is Adam Rosso from Hawkeye Headquarters, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Coach A.C. Earl. Don't hassle us, we're local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Turk Wendell, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
In business, is it better to build your way to growth or buy your way? First Midwest Bank has ideas. It's a critical decision and different for every company. A First Midwest commercial banker can help you weigh your options, because at First Midwest, they're not just bankers, but expert financial advisors. Talk to one today or visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. M&A momentum, strategic momentum, business momentum. First Midwest Bank.
Score a touchdown on your next new or used purchase at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll feel like you've entered the big game each and every time. You'll be treated like a pro player, from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a strong bench of mildly used vehicles, too. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Oh yeah, Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
Sensitivity, understanding, and a tradition of kindness and caring. It's so important when a family loses a loved one. Call on us, Wheeland Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, for all your service needs. You have our single-minded attention to every detail. With a range of choices and services available, our professionalism, and our deepest sympathy. Wheeland Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
Brick's Tap Davenport is the Quad Cities' home for all of your sports action and good beer served properly. Kick back on Sundays and don't miss a moment of the games with the NFL Sunday Ticket. Come early on Saturdays and make Frick's your special tailgate spot for all Hawkeye games. Don't forget, Frick's great second floor bar is perfect for all of your special events, birthday parties, anniversaries, or just a great time. Call 563-594-6857 or check us out on Facebook for all booking inquiries. Brick's Tap, good beer, served properly. West 3rd Street, Davenport.
Download the ESPN 1170 app today to get breaking news sent right to your phone. Never miss a thing from the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM. No matter what time of year, the hottest sports takes are heard right here. This is the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM. From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KPOB, Davenport.
All right, everybody, it's time for a little shake and cake. We got Tom Caker
Good job. Good
in
for
the
that was
studio.
good.
And
Now
this
we have a
is
segment called the Shake and Cake.
Shake and Cake with
Little
Tom
shake
Caker and cake.
Cake.
Where's the camera at?
It's
I'm
over
just
there.
to wave to Joe for one last time.
There you go.
Bye, Joe. Love you. Love you, Joe.
Speaking of Joe,
I love Joe.
Joe's gone.
Cubs lost their seventh straight yesterday. They lost to the
5
Pirates
errors.
9-2. Cleveland Indians beat the White Sox 11-0. Twins beat the Tigers 4-2. The St. Louis Cardinals lost in extra innings, in 19 innings to be exact, in the longest game at Chase Field, and the longest in innings and in time, 6 hours and 53 minutes. They lost 3-2. Today's games, Cardinals will play this afternoon at Arizona, 2:40. Milwaukee and Cincinnati at 5:40. Twins at 5:40. Cubs, Pittsburgh at 6 o'clock. Cleveland and the White Sox at 7. The Braves at the Royals at 7:15. Yesterday we talked about the sharpshooter, where the Sharps are at.
Where are the Sharps at?
The Sharps today actually are on the the losing Cubs. The Sharps are on
Just
them.
no way.
I'm telling you, they're on them right now. The Sharps have not abandoned ship on them.
I made some good money this weekend betting against the Cubs.
The early pro betting has moved has gotten the Cubs up from minus
And I'm a
179 to
Cubs
193.
I'm not going to miss those stupid Benny's Beverage Depot commercials.
Well,
that he's in.
Joe, God bless you, Joe.
Keep this in mind too. Since Paul Newart is behind the plate, since 2003, home teams have a higher advantage. Home teams have lost more.
Bob Newhart's behind the plate?
No, Paul Newart, when he's calling balls or strikes, according to BetLab Sports. They're also on the Mets tonight against the Marlins. So they moved that line as well.
DeGrom pitching. It's DeGrom night.
Even though the Mets are very heavily favored, they moved it from minus 380 to minus 425. And the under on the Astros Seattle Mariners that opened up at 9.5. Wise guys moved that down to 9.
Here's a Joe Madden quote from his weekly appearance on 670 The Score today. Very optimistic about the future. Plans to talk to management about his future in the coming days. Joe, I got news for you. They're not going to have a contract for you for next year.
Is that what that's what you're coming up with?
Oh my God! Well, his contract's up.
Yeah, they're not going to renew his contract.
He'll be either Philadelphia. Where would you go if you're Joe Madden? Would you go?
You think Philadelphia's going to cut with Gabe?
Oh
Kapler?
God, yeah. He's terrible.
He's a spaz. He's got a huge forehead too.
He's terrible. Or would you just? My option would be San Diego.
Oh, okay. Because they
let go of Andy Green. They have a good young farm system, maybe one of the best in baseball.
They can bring back those petting zoos.
Yeah.
And they can work all his magic over there. Who's going to be the next Cubs skipper?
David Ross.
Oh my God! It would make sense to bring in that mascot.
Mark Loretta.
No.
Or Mark DeRosa. Those are my 3.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Are you playing that to be a smartass?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry, they're gonna melt Matt over there.
Huh. So they lost yesterday.
So
won't hear that song again this year.
That's not true. The Sharps are on them to win tonight.
They're not gonna stop.
Sorry. All right.
Do you want to talk about the other things?
Yeah, we've been talking about it all day. We had Lucy Rodin on from the University of Iowa. We had Bobby Metcalf teaching us about newspapers and what to do. What's been going on? Talk to me. What are you hearing?
Which story do you want? Do you want Bandgate?
Let's start with Bandgate.
I'm
and then
seriously
we'll work
had
our
it
way.
about Bandgate, and I'm actually over the Cyhawk series now.
You're ready to pitch
because I don't care this much anymore. Because something doesn't seem right to me that there's no video. Something doesn't seem right that you go to places and it says if you see something suspicious, text this line. Nobody has anything. Something doesn't seem right when you say, "Hey, there's people that have been physically assaulted. We have pictures or whatever else. We've seen pictures," and the answer is, "Yeah, but they went the wrong exit." All of it doesn't make any sense to me. It seems like
the blaming the victim part of it is it's unseemly by Iowa State. I would say that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whataboutism from Jamie Pollard yesterday at Iowa State.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Jay
but
brought that up a lot.
Yeah, but our guy, we've had that happen to us. We've had,
Don't like that. Yeah.
Then report it at the time or shut your pie hole.
Yeah.
Don't bring it up now because it's convenient. What Jamie Pollard does, he plays to his base. He just plays to that Iowa State base, and that's what they want. I don't think Iowa's ever going to walk away from the series. I just don't think it's going to get that way. I think there's a lot of posturing right now. I thought Gary Barta's comments yesterday were odd, to say the least. Just, kind of non-clarity to it and kind of his almost disassociation with it. And, just saying, well, they're talking to Barbara Burke, who is the deputy athletic director. And I can understand if there are some female band members that would not feel maybe not feel comfortable talking to Gary Barta about a sexual assault or some sort of physical assault, that they would want to talk to a woman, or a woman would be involved in that. I think that's perfectly fine and perfectly acceptable. And I understand why none of those people have gone forward with a police report, because then your name gets out there. And as we've seen in the last 24 hours, when anything comes up with you, people start digging and they start trashing you.
Very good point, Kakert. Very good point.
I wouldn't, you want to know why victims don't come forward? That's why. It's because, especially if it involves something like the Cyhawk series, they're going to
somebody's got time on their hands.
They're going to go after you, rightfully or wrongfully. They're going to go after you and call you a liar, call you a slut, call you this, call you that.
And then if they can't, they're going to come find something that you posted that's going to shed their light and their persuasive argument in their direction to make it look like they're right.
I understand why Iowa State's saying, well, nobody's filed anything. Yeah, maybe they haven't. But that doesn't mean these things didn't happen. My solution to the ban thing is simple. Don't have the visiting bands travel anymore. Just don't bring them. Problem solved.
Unless it was
Iowa State people said
a bowl game, right?
They're just to this game.
Yeah.
Just Iowa State next year, don't bring your band to Kinnick because you've said that things have happened. Don't go through the whole rigmarole of we got to just add more security. Just don't bring them. Keep them home. That's fine. Iowa, next time they go to Ames, don't bring the band. Just leave them at home, and that's fine. We'll get by. It's a football game.
The only time I've ever noticed, honestly, an opposing team's band is when I saw the 7-piece set that Rutgers brought. I was perplexed by. That's all. That's the only thing. They were up in a corner all by themselves. It was really strange.
Yes.
So that's the only time I've ever noticed. So yeah, I guess that's it. It just, to me, it just feels like, and the way you say it makes sense that it's just posturing. But as soon as I hear the president say, like, well, maybe we shouldn't, then I'm just like, you don't care, then I don't care anymore. And then on top of it, I didn't care that the governor was like, no, we need to make this a priority that it doesn't happen. I'm like, you don't care either. Like, you're just saying that to say it.
Just keep them at home.
Yeah.
So can we get into Carson King? Or you guys have already covered that?
Or maybe we don't open up, Rossa will say this too, maybe we don't open up the tailgate at 5 a.m.
Well, they had to because of the game day thing.
No, game day can get in there all they want. They give media passes. You don't need to open up the lots and open tailgating at 5.
Because people want to go to game day, and they're setting up their tailgates and then going to game day. You got to open it up.
It's a long time drinking.
News on Twitter.
Yeah, all right.
Aaron Calvin has entered the transfer portal.
Oh, has he?
Has he been let go?
No, I don't know.
No word yet.
That's really funny, though.
I'm sure he's going to get fired, though.
Why is the vetting process for the Des Moines Register's news side? And I feel terrible for my friends Chad Leistico, Mark Emmert, Randy Peterson, Tommy Birch, Matt Bain, Cody Godwin, all the guys that Dargan, all the guys that work for the Register and the sports side. Randy Peterson, great guy. Been friends with Randy forever. I feel terrible for those guys because they're going to get the brunt of this because the people who are mainly tuned into the Carson King story are sports fans. Yep. And that's where this kind of started.
But this wasn't a sports reporter, and that's the problem.
But that's the problem. Is those guys are going to? Those guys had 100%, 1,000%. Bobby probably told you. I would guess. I didn't.
We didn't go too deep about it. But here's the deal, and this is what.
But it was a news site story.
But understand this, Cakes.
Yeah.
And I drew a correlation to the story that happened with Barb Hicks.
I was going to say
Barb Hicks.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
This does.
When
news side.
When the news side starts getting involved in the sports side. Is when it gets poisoned. The news guys don't have an agenda. They do a very good job, especially our guys that come in here, of objectively reporting what happens on the high school scene.
Sure.
I mean, they do not. I mean, seriously, they're very good at what they do, and knowledgeable and just reporting it. You start getting into the other side of it, which is when political bias becomes involved, whatever you want to call it. Agendas. I'll call it just agendas. We'll just be as nice as I can about it. There's some sort of agenda, and I don't know what it is.
I don't think it's political. I
don't know if it's political, but there was an agenda. Whatever the agenda
I
was,
think the agenda there's an agenda on both, and you see it in the political side too. I mean, Democrats will dig into the backgrounds of Republicans. Republicans
both
dig in.
ways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
absolutely.
It's a political. It's not just because I know that the
but that
stereotype
form of reporting has poisoned into the actual news media itself, not the sports guys so much.
Yeah,
but the news guys, and that's what I was getting at earlier. They just
if
they wonder why people don't trust them because they're not trustworthy.
Yeah,
they're not.
If he had done those tweets a year ago or 2 years ago, I think it's germane. When he's 16, it's crap.
And to Bobby's point, at what point do you hold someone accountable for things? I get it. I understand that. But at the same
16
time,
is not the age where
right.
You're juvenile. I mean, and had it been something like if he had a juvie record of some sort where he was,
well, if you have a juvenile record, that stuff is kept silent, right?
Yeah, but if there was some incident where say he was an athlete and he got in trouble and had got suspended, beat up a girl or something, or physical violence or something, firing a weapon at school, I think that's germane. Tweets? Well, about things that a comedian did? This is why comedy's dying.
Yeah.
Because you can't be funny anymore because you can't offend anybody because everybody's so easily offended.
And that comes from this cancel culture, which comes from the left. I'm sorry. I call it as I see it, but
I don't know that it's a left thing. I think it's just it's a gotcha culture.
Well,
yes,
is what
there
it
you
is.
go.
It's a gotcha culture on both sides.
There's a storm coming.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you, there's a storm coming, and people, the people, I feel like sometimes I might be the silent majority, where I don't always just get so mad that I have to go off on it. But the people like me that are going to have enough of it are finally going to snap. And the people that are out there, the ones that are the complainers, they're going to be overwhelmed by the others. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, this is just
it's going to snap back and go all back the other way.
Yeah, this is it's a bad deal. I mean, common sense would tell you if you did the social media dive and you found these things, all you do is pick up the phone and call the kid and say, hey, there's a couple of tweets here. They're kind of offensive. Why don't you just delete them? We're not going to write about it because it's really not germane to what you've done here.
Jackie Gleason says, what the name German's got to do with it?
Instead they pick up the phone and call Anheuser-Busch and ask them for comment.
Yeah, that's what they did, and then they're denying it too. They're denying that
they absolutely did. To be transparency.
Yeah,
I mean, all of a sudden Anheuser-Busch just magically found out about this yesterday afternoon while the Des Moines Register was working on the story. Come on, no one believes that. No one.
Because it's not true.
No one. Just own what you did. Be transparent. In the news business, you want transparency. That's what you want.
Yeah.
From your public figures, you want sunlight on and do that. Say, yeah, we did what we always do, which is call a company that might be associated with them and ask them for comment. And because unless Busch Beer can come up with something and say, no, this was just a rando person. Come on.
We know
nobody believes this.
And that's what I'm saying. That's it.
Just call the kid. Just call up Carson King and say, dude, a couple of questionable ones here. We're doing this profile. It's really not has anything to do with, if it had been like a year ago tweets where he was making fun of the wave and then he's doing this, then that's germane.
Yeah, there you go.
That's germane. That's a good point. But these don't really have anything to do with what he did, and he's had subsequent tweets that were basically shouting down racism.
Yes.
So why even,
That's the thing. That's what's getting glossed over.
Yeah, just leave them. Let them be.
Whereas this reporter that did run with it has tweets who's never shouted anything down anti-Semitic,
which is what I said, that their vetting process is tougher for their stories than for their own employees.
which is pretty insane.
Why didn't the question you'd have for the people at the register is why is your hiring practice, why does that not include a deep social media dive?
You mean
you're hiring, if you're hiring reporters.
That's, I mean, that was what I put out last night when they sit there and said, like, when they're like, oh, we,
standard.
It's standard, and then I just wrote, nope, not going to believe it. You didn't do this for your hires.
It's just this whole thing. This is why we can't have nice things. We can't have nice things happen. This is such a feel good story. Would have been.
Is it why this is why we can't have nice things, or is it no good deed goes
unpunished?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just after all this bullcrap with the band stuff, this was one thing that was you could feel good about.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that Iowa and Iowa State fans could both get behind, and
they had to go ruin it.
And
the whole thing is like a weird stain. You have game day for the first time in Ames. You've got two teams that were both in the top 25 at the beginning of the season.
And why is the Register trying to say that they were, they had to put it in there then because he had the press conference and talk. Well, he was trying to get ahead of the story, which is what
you
what
were
I
about
would have
to
told him
smear
to,
him.
because you were going to put it in. This was going in there.
If you really talk about it and talking to other people, it makes a lot of sense. And in turn, the Des Moines Register is pissed because now the clicks have gone to KCCI instead of their story. Do you know what I'm saying? They want the clicks. They want everything else. They want to be on. They want it to be shared.
WHO was with it too.
Okay, but they wanted it to be
Keith.
shown.
Yeah.
They want it to be. They want it to be shared on social media. They want those clicks. Then they can show the people that own their publication to be like, look, we had the number one trending story in Iowa. They got scooped.
It's terrible.
It just sucks.
They get scooped. They're upset about it, and they're just saying like, no, we didn't do it. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Just own what you do.
Yeah.
Own.
Well, they're gonna. I mean, whether it's right or wrong, they're losing subscriptions because of this.
Oh yeah. Did you guys look at their Facebook thing last night? The number of followers for the Register was just going off a cliff.
Really?
Yeah. Number of registered followers on Facebook was just cratering.
Yeah. No.
Good.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just saying karma. That's why I tweeted at this kid last night. I said, "Wow, anti-Semitic much, bud? Karma's gonna be glad to see you." And that's the thing. It's karma. And you know what? And maybe I'm a little too hard on this kid, this reporter. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I really don't care.
He was just following instructions.
Okay.
Don't take it out on him.
Really? They said the same thing about the Nazi soldiers.
I know, but...
Okay, but Tom, they said the same thing about the Nazi soldiers.
I know, but
you know right from wrong.
Was he?
Tom,
how do we know?
Tom, I want you to go to the front office, and I want you to punch Dana in the face.
You're not my boss.
I am in this wall right now. Let's
How
pretend.
do you know that he was just doing his job, or if maybe he thought he was doing something to create clicks? What did they tell him? Go through his thing.
I'm sure that's
sounds
standard.
like the guy's been a jerk for a while. If I go through
I'm not defending him.
No, and I know you're not, Tom.
I'm just saying.
devil advocate
I'm just saying that's what they tell them to do, and he wants to be employed, so he does what he's told.
It is brutal.
I would leave. I would report them, say they fired me because I didn't want to be mean. And then whatever, you know what? It's just a bunch of garbage.
You'd be a whistleblower.
Yeah,
you'd be a whistleblower and say like, "Hey, they're trying to."
No, I just go out in the parking lot and take a ball back to the boss's car. Is what I do.
It's just weird to me that they have that the same reporter who they hired as an employee has a worse social media.
That's the thing. It's so crazy.
What you're saying is right. It would be like the people here coming out telling Jay and I that we had to say something that was totally outlandish, and we knew it was wrong, and we went and said it anyway, and did it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I know. I'd be telling you guys are crazy. I'm not saying that or doing that.
That is the one thing that doesn't make sense to me.
Don't make, if you're not going to have that as part of your own hiring practices, then don't make it an issue in stories that you write.
Fair.
That's completely fair.
Yeah.
Don't make it an issue. Leave them be. Let us have a nice story for once, for Christ's sake. And we had a great story, and Carson's coming to the game on Saturday. I still hope he's coming.
Dude, Lester Holt gave us a whole minute.
And
The whole minute. We had 1 whole minute on national
news. And I hope that he...
is he going to give us 1 whole minute on this? No?
I hope...
He'll give us 2 on this. You know why? Because it's clickbaits for them, too.
Knowing Kirk...
It's controversy.
Knowing Kirk is going to want to invite Carson down to the field at the end of the first quarter so he can enjoy the wave. From the field, though.
Don't tell Lester Holt that, because that won't fit his agenda. We might not get our full 2 minutes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Come back, we're going to talk some more with Tom Caker from Hawkeye Report.
A little cake and shake.
More cake and shake when we come back.
Good God.
So good.
Oscar's Pub, guys, is bringing you Beer Fest Saturday, October 12th. It's coming quick. An all-day event to celebrate beer and fun. They're going to have beer pong, flippy cup contest, a Vans bread nugget eating competition, and that night they top it off with live music with a local band at 5:30 called The Betterman, and then at 7:30 out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, performing for the first time in the Quad Cities, Pat McCurdy, bringing the most high-energy act in the country, playing his standout hit, Sex and Beer Time. You gotta love that, buddy. Tickets are on sale now through Oscar's Pub Facebook page for $5 in advance, or they'll be $10 day at the door. That's Beer Fest, Saturday, October 12th, Oscar's Pub, featuring Pat McGurdy.
This is Rachel Alger with St. Ambrose University, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
Online sports betting is here with EliteSportsbook.com. If you are an active Rhythm City Casino Resort Club member, go to EliteSportsbook.com now and follow the prompts to start betting. Not a Resort Club member? Visit Rhythm City to join today. Bet with Elite Sportsbook at Rhythm City Casino Resort or online now. More ways to get in the game with EliteSportsbook.com and Rhythm City Casino Resort. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
It's family weekend on the campus of Augustana College. The football team plays host to Elmhurst Saturday with a 6 o'clock kickoff. Women's soccer battles St. Mary's on Sunday at 1. On Tuesday, men's soccer takes to the pitch at Thorson Lucan Field with a 7 o'clock match with Knox. Then it's women's volleyball at the Carver Center. Wednesday at 7, it's Carroll. Then Wartburg, and St. Mary's are part of the Viking Classic Friday and Saturday. For complete game information, visit augustana.edu. Augustana College, a family-friendly front row seat to big-time small college sports.
The experts at Helitech know that a sinking foundation is a serious problem. Uneven floors, separated baseboards, windows or doors that stick can all be signs of significant structural damage that needs to be addressed. Call the foundation repair experts at Helitech to get your free estimate today. If you don't address your foundation issues, they will lead to more serious issues, such as bowed walls, water damage, and even structural collapse. Helitech is your hometown foundation repair contractor. Helitech has been proudly serving the Quad Cities for over 30 years. Helitech uses industry-leading solutions to repair your sinking foundation. Your home is the largest investment you will typically make. Who better to trust with your family's home than Helitech? They healed my home. They'll heal yours too. Helitech.
In business, is it better to build your way to growth or buy your way? First Midwest Bank has ideas. It's a critical decision and different for every company. A First Midwest commercial banker can help you weigh your options. Because at First Midwest, they're not just bankers, but expert financial advisors. Talk to one today or visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. M&A momentum, strategic momentum, business momentum. First Midwest Bank.
Brickstown Davenport is the Quad Cities' home for all of your sports action and good beer served properly. Kick back on Sundays and don't miss a moment of the games with the NFL Sunday Ticket. Come early on Saturdays and make Frick's your special tailgate spot for all Hawkeye games. Don't forget, Frick's great second floor bar is perfect for all of your special events, birthday parties, anniversaries, or just a great time. Call 563-594-6857 or check us out on Facebook for all booking inquiries. Frick's Tap, good beer, served properly. West 3rd Street, Davenport.
The best NFL and college football talk can be heard every day from morning till night on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
This is UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
right, we're back with a little cake and shake here in the Hassle Castle, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. And
How
that
about a
means-
chocolate cake shake?
Sticking.
Wow, whatever you want to do, Cake. You're shaking it.
It's the Portillo's. Have you ever had that? The chocolate cake shake?
Yeah, it's not on my diet anymore,
Yeah.
man. Me and Amy
I thought you were on the seafood.
No,
Yeah,
not anymore,
he's-
dude. I'm on this restrictive stuff, man. All healthy.
Really?
All healthy.
Speaking of seafood, today is National Lobster Day.
Ugh.
You don't like lobster?
I've never been a big lobster fan.
No.
It is also National Comic Book Day.
That's
know
right
I
up
love
my alley.
that.
That's right up my alley.
Every year on
Nerd
September
alert.
25th, National Comic Book Day honors the art, artists, and stories of comic books.
Stan Lee.
First popularized in the United States, comic books are also called
Captain America.
comic magazines. Generally, comic books produced drawn, sequential, and opposing panels representing individual scenes.
Mhm.
Anyway, so let's see. The earliest known comic was in 1842.
Was it a cowboy hero?
The Adventures of Obadiah Oldbuck was the name of it.
Sounds like a guy out trapping critters.
In 1896, a comic book magazine was published in the United States featuring the Yellow Kid in a sequence called McFadden's Row of Flats.
What the hell's that mean?
I don't know, man. So National Comic Book Day. I told you it's National Lobster Day.
Ugh.
National One Hit Wonder Day. Look at that.
They've like the
Favorite one-hit wonder, Jay?
Well, it's Come On Eileen.
Really?
Yeah.
think so. Not the Buggles.
Video Killed the Radio Star.
No.
No.
I think I'm the Safety Dance, Men Without Hats.
How about Aha? Take on Me. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, here they kind of have a. Here's some list of from days gone by. The
right.
ones like from the '60s, I don't really know any.
Come on, just say
Go ahead. Sam.
Say
I
'em
know.
all.
We know.
Well, 1955, Earth Angel by the Penguins.
Oh, yeah.
Earth
Angel.
It's classic.
1963, Six Days on the Road by Dave Dudley.
Don't know that one.
1968, Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny Tim.
Great.
Very popular guy.
1969,
With a ukulele.
Smile a Little Smile for Me by the Flying Machine.
Oh, yeah.
1970, One Tin Soldier by Original Cast.
Okay, no.
1970, The House of the Rising Sun.
Oh, yeah.
By
Frigid Pink.
That wasn't by the Animals originally?
It was the animal. Yeah, I think the Animals redid it.
Okay. In 1972, Hot Rod Lincoln by Commander Cody.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Lost
Everybody
Planet
loves Hot Rod.
Airman.
That's a
There
great
goes Johnny
song.
Woodpecker and man. He's one red man. He's off to the rodeo.
How about Black Betty?
Is that
Oh,
on
Ram
this-
Jam?
Yeah.
1983, Putting on the Ritz by Taco.
Oh, it's a terrible song.
That's a great song.
I hate that song.
1988, Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin.
Oh, there you go.
There's some other ones.
What was the one? What was that one recently that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Everybody in the house.
Oh,
come
yeah,
on, let's
that's
shine.
Mambo number 5.
Yeah.
How about
New Vega.
How about Gangman Style?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Open Gangnam Style.
Sigh.
Yeah, Our House by Madness.
Oh, Madness had more than that, though.
Yeah, they had more than that.
Yeah, Madness was pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
Come on, man. Just because you were a little kid, you didn't know.
All right.
He was always little, though. Wasn't he? Walked right into it.
It's also
Joe Madden loves that
it's
one.
also-
Look at him.
It's also Math Storytelling Day.
How do you tell a story in math?
You know, story problems.
Oh, God. All right.
If
I
a
don't
train
I don't
was
like those,
going
yeah.
from New
I hate
York,
those.
Those were so fun.
It's National Women's Health and Fitness Day.
Johnny has 4 apples, and Jay eats 2 of them.
National
How much of a jerk is Jay?
National Tune-Up Day.
I did that last week.
There you go.
gotta
September
get it.
25th reminds homeowners to prepare for winter heating season.
I got to tune up my car, man.
National Research Administrator Day. Those are some of the days that are a national
Boring.
day.
Isn't that
today.
one of the boringest jobs in America? I'm a research administrator.
National Comic Book Day.
I like the one-hit wonders. I feel you didn't read them all off.
No, that was that they had there. If you can tell me some more that you have top of your head, I feel free to tell you. Obviously, Madness is not a one-hit wonder.
Well, I'm just telling you. They're not.
Amadeus by Falco.
Yeah.
Yeah. 99 Red Loft Balloons.
How about
Oh, yeah.
Brandy by Looking Glass?
Love that song.
99
Unbelievable by EMF.
How about
Yeah.
Spirit in the Sky? Norman
Yeah.
Greenbaum.
Yeah, that's a good one. Right Here, Right Now by Jesus Jones.
What about the Pina Colada song?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's what about
Ingledick Humpert?
Escape.
Yeah.
What about
Humpert, Ingledick, or whatever his name
what about
is.
Hunger Strike from Temple of the Dog?
No, they had other good songs.
What other songs do you know of by Temple of the Dog? I'm just making a joke that it's two bands and they're not really there for one.
How about Play That Funky Music, White Boy?
Okay.
That was a big T-Roy song.
Oh, you know that.
Wild Cherry.
Play That Funky Music, T-Roy.
867-5309.
Tommy Two-Tone.
Yeah. How about There's Always Something There to Remind Me?
Oh,
Naked
that's
Eyes.
a good one.
Naked Eyes. That's it. But that was a remake, by the way. Yeah. That is a remake. That is originally a song by Diana Ross.
This one I might dispute because I
That's
feel like
'cause they
there's another.
sample
I
it.
feel
No,
like
that's
they
a
had
different
another
thing.
song. Boys Are Back in Town. Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, they've had way other songs.
They had other songs.
Now,
right?
there's a song called The Boys Are Back in Town by the Bus Boys.
Bus Boys.
That was in 48
Yeah,
Hours.
it was in
I got
48
that
Hours,
on my
yes.
phone with, they have another song on that called
Yes.
New Shoes.
Yes.
Dude, got
I
both
have-
on my
oh,
phone,
yeah.
baby.
Got them both on my
Dude,
phone.
the Bus
How about
Boys?
Stacy's Mom?
Yeah,
Oh,
Stacy's
dude.
mom's got it going
Fountains
on.
of
Yeah.
Wayne. Does Semisonic have another hit? They have Closing Time on this list.
Nothing.
Not that I know of.
that's
How
it.
about
Well, then you got to have Tub Thumping.
how about
shit,
the
Chumbawamba.
Proclaimers? How about the Proclaimers?
Yeah, 500
I'm
miles.
gonna be 500 miles. Yeah.
I will walk 500 miles.
Does
How about My Sharona? Is that on the list?
The Knack?
the knack?
The
It's,
Knack.
that's in there.
My scrotum.
My scrotum. That's gross.
Oh, I thought that was the name of the song.
No one needs to know that ever.
I should feel like I should know more one-hit wonders.
Breakfast at Tiffany's, Deep Blue
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
How about
That's
that?
stupid.
Mambo number 5.
You said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little
Steal
bit
My
Monica
Sunshine by
and-
Len.
Oh, that song. I like that song. That was a fun summer for me.
How about Macy's Playground, Sex and Candy.
Ooh, Sex and Candy.
Yeah.
I dated a girl named Candy during
House
that
of
time.
Pain is Jump Around.
Jump
a
Around.
while.
Oh, but they had a...
Which
well,
one do you? No, they didn't.
Yeah,
have
that was...
anything.
How about this one? It became a great skit on Saturday Night Live. What is Love by Hathaway.
Yeah.
Or what about Vanilla Ice?
No, he
Ice
had
Ice
more.
They're gonna do. They.
Nah,
You mentioned
yeah.
Play the Funky White Boy, and he had turtle rap, ninja rap, or whatever.
Blind Melon, No Rain.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that one's there.
How about this?
Okay.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Baby got back.
Nope, sorry, you're forgetting about Posse on Broadway.
Yeah, but wasn't that
Nope.
with Boogie Down Productions?
No, man, he's from
All right.
Seattle.
How about
dude.
What's Up? What's Up?
Posse's
The
on Broadway.
By Hoopty.
Yeah, my Hoopty too. Don't even go there. with
Whoop,
that
there it
Sir
is. How about Whoop, there it is?
Yeah, that
Tag
tag
team?
team back again. Check for the record. Let's begin.
Well,
Come on,
look how
Bobby,
much
let's
fun we're
jump for
having
joy.
with National One Hit Wonder Day.
Groove is in the Heart.
Yeah,
Oh,
Delight.
Delight.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, this is a T-Roy favorite.
Okay.
Right Said Fred.
I'm too sexy. That's
Too
a good
sexy
one.
for my pants. Too sexy for my pants. Come on, baby, let's dance. I'm a T-Roy. You know what I mean.
I knew this was
and
a big
I
one.
shake my little butt on the catwalk.
Oh.
You know, and Ryan says you can't have music on AM radio. Do you, Ryan? Listen to me sing. I'm great.
Now, this was a cool song that I liked.
Okay.
The Primitive Radio Gods standing outside the phone booth. It
remember
sampled
this
that. Sampled the B.B. King song.
No,
I don't
know
remember
it.
that one.
How about Cotton Eye Joe?
Ugh.
It's the worst song ever.
I know.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
I want to listen to it. I got to figure this out.
Metallica did a remake of it, but I'm going to tell you what right now. Diamond Head, Am I Evil? Hands down.
What was the one that you guys all really liked? 110 Soldier?
Oh.
No.
Aha. Or what was it? It was the Naked Eyes, Take on Me.
No, I was doing no, Hot Rod Lincoln.
Yeah.
Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen.
Oh, yeah.
Is a great name.
Dude, what
It's a
about
great name.
C.J. McCall and the Convoy?
C.W. McCall.
Yeah,
C.W. McCall, yeah.
and the Convoy.
Convoy.
That was on the other night. I made Amy listen to it.
Now, is that did they make
Breaker,
a movie out of
Breaker,
the
one
song,
night,
or did
yeah.
they make a song out of the movie?
Made a movie out of the song. Breaker, Breaker, Rubber Ducky. We got it.
Oh, here's a good. This is another T-Roy favorite, I'm sure.
All right.
Okay.
Crisscross.
Oh,
Make me
jump.
jump. Oh, yeah, dude. Jay, you
So,
didn't wear
hey-
your stuff backwards when that came
How
out?
about
Oh,
this
yeah, I
one?
did.
Here's another
Yeah, yeah.
T-Roy favorite. Rico Suave.
Oh, Rico. Suave.
There's not
You
a
know
woman
what? You want
alive
to
who can handle a man like me.
You
That's
want to
why
hear
I
my
juggle
Rico
2 or
Suave?
3. Yeah.
I walked down the beach with my speed on, and my hair is sticking out. In the front, it looks like I'm smuggling plums. And the women, they walk up to me and they say, Rico, can I touch you? And I say, no, you may not.
Is Billy Ray Cyrus a one-hit wonder?
That's the thing. Now that he's
Yeah.
got Old Town Road anymore.
Achy Breaky?
Achy Breaky Heart is his only hit. He had that song Some Gave All, but it wasn't a big hit. And he's on Old Town Road now.
Here's another one. This is Pat Anger's favorite song, by the way.
Is it really?
No, Thong Song.
Thong by Cisco.
Yeah, see, and my wife's maiden name is Thong. We used to call her that. Yeah. Amy, that thong, 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 thong.
All right, do you have any insight for Middle Tennessee State for us?
Yeah, I was going to cover. So
let's keep doing the songs.
Yeah, keep doing the songs.
What
Smooth Criminal. Or whatever. Criminal, the Fiona Apple song.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good song.
She was scary looking.
In the Meantime, Space Hog.
I don't remember that one.
How about Your Woman, White Town?
Nope.
Huh.
No.
How about the Breeders, Cannonball?
Oh, yeah.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
It's a really good song.
Well, there's a couple like that then.
Bittersweet Symphony? Verve?
You're just in the 90s, aren't you?
No,
Yeah, I'm in this 90s thing.
Yeah.
I found this 90s list.
So the 80s probably have just a ton.
Oh, my God, the 80s have. How about Barely Breathing, Duncan Sheik?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
He did a pretty good cover of another song, though. I forgot that.
Crisscross. God.
Jump. Mac Daddy, make you jump.
Diggity, diggity, Mac. I'm the Miggity.
There's a lot of, and you can find a lot of
Do you want to
hit
keep
songs
doing my Rico
there
Suave?
from like R&B, too.
Go.
I have on my Speedo.
All
In the
right.
back, I have my flabby hairy ass sticking out.
How about Iran by Flock of Seagulls?
Flock of Seagulls is good.
I love it.
It's Raining Men. That's one of Two Roy's favorites, too.
Didn't Flock of Seagulls have that?
I'm Rico Suave. I'm the reason that it's raining men. Because I'm sweating all over
Flock
you.
of Seagulls had one more, some type of love song or whatever else. But there's other ones. You have
How
Melt
about
With
Pac-Man
You.
Fever?
Pac-Man Fever.
How about
Disco Duck? Yeah,
Rick
Rick
Dees.
Disco Duck. Why don't you come rub oil all over me?
Disco Duck.
Beds Are Burning, Midnight Oil.
That's a good one. You're all over the place now. You just went from...
I went to the 80s now. I went to the Nick Kershaw.
Modern English, you
Vixen.
have Melt
How
With
about
Me.
Vixen? Edge of Broken Heart.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, I'm in the 80s one because that's my The Church Under the Milky Way. That was a good song. How about Lunatic Fringe, Red Rider?
I was gonna ask if they were a one-hit wonder or not. But
Yes,
they are because Tommy Cochran broke up before he did Life is a Highway.
Yeah.
I know
Is
that.
Party All the Time a one-hit wonder?
Oh yeah. He
Okay.
didn't. Well, no. He did another song that had a lot of airplay, so I take it back.
Here's a good one.
He has another song. It's.
Here's a good one. I got a good one. Aldo Nova, Fantasy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You love that one.
Dude. All right,
Hey,
so
tell that story.
You want to hear a story, Tom? Very
before
interesting
we go,
story.
Before we get
JJ
the
Fade?
show.
No,
Yeah, listen to the story.
Aldo Nova, the beginning of that
Before we go to
song,
the end of it.
was the very first song played at Tuxedo's on 53rd Street off of.
Were you
Grand.
there that night?
I was DJing, baby.
Okay.
I played that, and as it went to the spot where all the.
Yeah, love that song.
And then I cut it off and mixed right in. Are you ready for a good time? AC/DC. Boom. And this.
You should
and
go
the
back to that
dancer on
gig.
stage was Amber. She rocked it, dude.
Did you take her home that night?
No, man. I was the DJ. I was very professional. I never did anything when I was younger wrong, Tom. Haven't you learned? Haven't you seen my social media?
Yeah, we can't have that.
Clean as a whistle.
Well, it's been an interesting 24 hours, and I would say an interesting week.
She wanted to touch my plums. I said, you may not
How
touch
about
me.
one time Don Johnson from Miami Vice did the
Dude.
Heartbeat song?
Heartbeat.
Oh,
so
God.
terrible.
I'm telling you, Eddie Murphy has another song, and I think it's called "The Butt."
Yeah, we'll
And
pass.
and it's like, put a spoon up in your butt. Do in your butt.
I don't
He's
think
got
it's a
another
real
song.
song.
Yes, he does. I'll
What
look
about
it up.
Steve Martin, the Egyptian, to King Tut?
King Tut. How about the Blues Brothers, Rubber Biscuit?
Oh, Rubber Biscuit?
But they had
Ma,
other
ma, ma.
songs.
Yeah, they will. Do you know what the rubber biscuit is, Jay? It's a biscuit you bounce it off the wall and it goes into your mouth. Bow, bow, bow. Hey,
Well, I'm glad
Mexican
we could
Radio by Walla Voodoo.
Yeah, I'm glad we could put a smile on everyone's face.
Yeah.
I wish I were in Tijuana.
Just be careful what you write, what you put on social
Remember
media.
when Bruce Willis did Respect Yourself?
Yeah.
Eating barbecued iguana.
Remember when you write something that those words are out there forever, and if you want to try to scrub it the best, please do.
Yeah, so don't be telling some girl you love her,
Once-
man, because you might
once
not
you
love her
put it
6
out
months
there,
from now.
it never goes away. That's my
These
rule.
are your words.
That's right.
Own them. Use them. Treat them with respect. Don't just put things out there and think it's not a big deal. Ignorance
It's
is
bliss.
not inherited. It is learned. Be nice to each other. Dear Lord, be nice to each other.
Don't be an Aaron Calvin.
Be
Just
nice to
saying.
each other.
Trying, Jay.
It was a good show today, guys. It's always fun talking with you. Appreciate you
Eating
coming in.
barbecued
Kaker, appreciate you coming in and
iguana.
talking with us. Bobby Metcalf from the Times, too. And then, we get to talk. And thanks to Lucy as well. Thanks for Serge for helping us out. You guys all have a hassle-free Wednesday. Enjoy yourselves. Go out there and have a bush beer. I don't care. Do whatever you
Please
want.
do.
Yeah. We'll see you guys tomorrow.